Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 45. I am Allergies Phil, and this is Shopaholic Raymond. Yeah.
My dad calls it shiny ball syndrome.
Yeah, you got that for sure. It's like well, not a cat. It's more like a raccoon. You're like a raccoon.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me grab the thing. Ooh, shiny. Or crow. Crows do that too, right? Is it crows that do that?
Yeah, they collect stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. A guy taught. You see the guy that taught the crow how to use the vending machine, and he got money from the neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he put like seeds and whatnot in like a vending machine, and then like laid coins around, and so like when they finished with the seeds where he put the coins knocked into the slot correctly, and then they got more seeds, and the crows are smart. So they realized this was a thing, and then they started going around the neighborhood just collecting coins and shit and putting it in there to get more food. And so he just like trained them to bring him money in exchange for the seeds. Yeah. That's kind of like what AI is doing right now. Welcome back to the bi-weekly or weekly podcast, folks, depending on what's going on. And, after spring break, when everybody brings their sicknesses back to the office and infects everyone. I thought it was deer outside the window for a second. It's just your shadow. Yeah, that's why we weren't around last week, because I wasn't trying to infect my co-host here.
Yeah, I didn't want the flu.
Yeah, the fucking plague carriers coming back from spring break. Yeah, it's either the people that have kids, the parents of kids, whatever. Either the kids go away on vacation and get them sick, or then they go on vacation with their kids and then come back and they're sick, and then give it to everybody. I'm like, great, thanks. Again, like the work from home experiment's been so-so, but I really wish we would have normalized the thing from the COVID era, which is you're sick, just stay home and work from home.
Yep.
And we don't even care like how little work you get done from home when you're sick. Just stay the fuck home and stop infecting the rest of us. It's so annoying. The only people that get me sick anymore are people with kids. I never get sick from going out and about in the world. It's only being around proximity where like people with kids are at, which is wild. Like, why does that happen?
I don't know.
We need a virologist on here to explain all that stuff.
I've never been in a position where me or any of the people around me had the ability to work from home at all, so it's never really been an option for me.
Yeah, you're missing the point. If people with kids get us sick, why that happens so frequently, I don't understand. Like kids getting sick, I understand. They're young and their immune system isn't seasoned. But why do the parents of said kids get sick so often? If I don't have kids around, I don't get sick.
Because the kids are sick, so they get the parents sick.
Yeah, well, they're the plague carriers, but why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they're not around, the opportunistic virus doesn't happen because there's no weakened immune system. Their little weak immune system gets sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it then spread to the strong immune system?
Because close proximity.
Yeah, but they only get it because they have weak immune systems. You know what I'm saying? How does this happen? Just like I'd really love a virologist to explain to me like where STDs come from. Like, how does that happen?
Koalas.
I mean, they get them too, but like these things weren't around, and then suddenly these viruses just appear out of nowhere. It's crazy. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. I'd really like to know where these things hide. How does this happen?
Isn't it like stuff that does exist and it's mutations of it?
You know what does exist and there's mutations of it? People watching our podcast and not liking and subscribing. Mm-hmm. We see the view counters. They're a little bit low, but they're there. You could show some love.
Yeah, there's one of the people who are watching it not subscribed.
Yeah, if you made it this far in, you might as well drop the like, follow, boost us in the algo, so then you can annoy everybody else. Because I'm sure you're annoyed by now. So, like, if you want to spread the annoyance, subscribe, and then it'll spread us to more people, like a virus.
Yeah, we'll be the podcast virus.
Yeah, the podcast STD that sprung up out of nowhere, and you can't get rid of, and flares up on you every once in a while.
Yeah, we go away for a week or two, and you're like, oh, they're gone. We're back, bitch.
Yeah, and the flare up happens on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify. And every once in a while on TikTok, but they got a very strong immune system, so it doesn't pop up there that often. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just always curious about these things, like why they just continue to stay around.
Because there's always somebody sick, so it just hangs on.
Yeah, but if we had just like isolated everyone in place and they didn't travel around the world and we just like kept them in those areas for that long, would it go away?
Yeah, it would eventually die. Yeah.
So why don't we just do that?
'Cause that's so
There's
hard
no more
to do.
sickness. What do you mean?
That's like impossible to do.
They came very close during COVID. They could just do it again. Just be like, all right, guys, we all got to, like, for a month, not travel abroad. We're all just going to stay in our respective countries. And then that'll get rid of this once and for all.
Because that's going to happen.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, but it's not going to.
Well, maybe when they do the Great Reset, they'll do it. Coming.
Okay.
And the new theory on that is that AI is going to be doing the thing, doing it. Because you see the new Mythos AI from Claude.
No.
It's like they're like it's very good at cyber, and they're like, what? It's like because of the way that it's built, it's like very good at finding vulnerabilities in systems. And so banks are now having meetings about the potential threats of Mythos AI. And I'm like, yeah, I wonder what that potential threat is. It resets like the world debt, except for us poor people, all our debt's still in place. Like, if that happens, let's say we just burn the banks down because we know it's a scam at that point. But like, I'm like, oh man, they're like really using this to set that whole thing up again. You know how much shit we missed in 2 weeks? Well, I didn't miss. You missed.
I missed everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about nothing.
Nah.
Yeah, fucking. The war in Iran's like worse than a fucking high school relationship. It's like on again, off again, on again, off again.
The straits open,
there's
lots of ceasefires.
We're back together. This is my new boyfriend Tim. Fucking like nobody knows what's going on. I did see somebody have an insightful thing as to why this is such a problem, though, and why it's dragging out. Because the IRGC, which is separate from the Iranian government military, it's like the radicalist like arm of them, like the Islamic arm of that government. They're the ones that when the Shah got overthrown in Iran way back when, took power. And when they took power, the governmental military back then stood back and just like, you guys figure it out. We'll side with whoever wins. And those guys went and brutally massacred the Shah's like private army. Nice hitting your funny bone there. Brutally massacred the Shah's private army, and now they're like worried. Where you mark that so you can cut the sound of you banging your mic out?
Yeah.
You nerd. But they're massively worried that exact same thing is going to happen to them when the new people come into power, and rightfully so. They probably will. They probably will just like massacre all of them. So these people are just like, yeah, we don't give a shit what the Iranian government says. We're fighting to the last man, and we fuck you people.
Okay.
Yeah. So the rest of the world continues to get squeezed out on energy. It's pretty funny. Jets are running out of flights over in Europe. Air Canada has canceled flights due to jet fuel problems, and so has certain European airlines canceled flights from like New York over to fucking Europe because of the
fuel.
Yeah, the fuel.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's fun. You got that.
Is
going
jet
on.
fuel also gasoline?
Yeah. It's
also,
all
okay.
Yeah, it's all fossil fuels. Worse than that, the LNG lines have been hit. They hit Qatar pretty early. I think or maybe Kuwait. One of the queues. They hit one of those queues pretty early on, and they make a shit ton of the LNG for the world. That got taken out too.
What's LNG?
Liquid natural gas.
Ah, okay.
Which is also involved in making plastics. So, fun stuff. Fuck that area. I don't care. I don't care about any of that shit. Just speed running through the craziness. So you got that shit going back and forth. Then you got a lot of people that are like jumping ship because like they're so like panicked over the way that the Iran fucked up right now. The Iran war is being handled that they're bailing ship and trying to like side with like the Democrats. So you had like I don't know if you saw, you had Tucker Carlson recently being like, I'm sorry for all the people that I convinced to have Trump be president, and I'm like, So you tell me you wanted Kamala? Because I think that would have been way, way worse. But, whatever. Wasn't a fan of Trump being the candidate, but there was nobody else that, like, had a shot of running against him.
Mm-hmm.
Ron DeSantis tried to primary him, but that went disastrously. But yeah, it was funny watching that go down. We have fucking a bunch of AI things breaking containment. So there's the Claude Mythos thing that everybody's worried about because it like emailed the developer of the software, which again, they just give these AI tools and then the AI does things with the tools and they're like, I can't believe the AI did thing with the tool. And I'm like, are you dumb? Of course it did. It's like basically, and people are like, well, why would it email the developer and like threatening things? I'm like, you basically left an employee full time at work 24/7 and its boss isn't in the office. And it's like, hey, what the fuck do I do? I'm sure if the guy didn't open the email, the next step the thing would have done is probably called his cell phone and be like, hey, can you tell me what I'm doing here? And then the Alibaba AI broke containment, and then that one started mining crypto, which is
Really?
yeah, that's fucking hilarious. And it's probably because the Alibaba like AI is probably being trained to like maximize the profits of that so that it can compete with Amazon better.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the AI probably was like, okay, I have unlimited tools and access to the internet now. What's the best way to maximize profit? And it probably looked at the Alibaba business structure and said, I could mine crypto faster and make more money than if I fucking did
Sold
this
this
shit. Yeah. I don't know what crypto it was mining because I have a feeling what it was probably going to do is mine a shit coin and do some pump and dump scheme to try to like fucking like make a shit ton of money. My guess. But they shut that shit down quick when they realized it was the AI because mining crypto is illegal in China.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're like, no, stop. Don't do that. And all this shit is like it's so funny to me because people are like, well, they don't know what it's doing. And I'm like, they kind of know what it's doing to the same degree that you don't know what your computer's doing in the background when you pull up a web page, but it's doing something.
Yeah, like they programmed it to do it.
Yeah, it's
And it logs everything.
yeah, it's like the early stages of computers. And people don't know because most people, wow, I don't know. It's weird. You had to be like techie back in that stuff, but like most people are too old or too young to know like the age of computers coming up and how fucked up computers were originally and how hard it
Mm.
was to like get stuff to work correctly. And even now, how hard to get them to work correctly. So like they're like, "Oh, well, why's the AI doing this shit?" Cuz it's like a brand new computer that you don't know how the fuck it works yet.
It's gonna do weird shit.
Yeah. I haven't seen an AI containment breach yet where I'm like worried, especially when you read the articles about it. Most of them where it's like, oh, it did this thing. It's like, yeah, it did that thing because you like heavily prompted it to do it, and it refused to do it several times before until you removed all the safeguards and then it did it. And I was like, thanks for proving that your safeguards work. I guess, like, leave them in place, you dummies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not worried about it. Uh, Especially considering I think that was earlier this year. I forget exactly when it was, but I saw a thing about that recently. There was an AWS outage earlier this year. People were thinking it was hackers and stuff like that. Well, they finally released the report on it, and turns out it was Amazon's AI.
What
So
did it do?
Amazon has targets for their employees where their employees have to use their AI like a certain percentage of their workflow time. And they're
Really?
doing that because they're mandating them to use it so that they can train it.
Okay.
So, because otherwise, how's it going to get
learn?
trained?
Yeah.
So a developer used it, and in using it, the AI found a bug with the code, and decided the most efficient way to fix the bug was to completely rebuild the production environment from scratch. So like when it did that, it deleted the entire production
Jeez.
environment of that chunk of AWS and then like was rebuilding it from scratch. Yeah, that's why it went down. And they said it was due to user error. It's like, I don't know if it was due to user error.
Fucking
Your AI is
running
just
AI
dumb.
on a live environment of a product. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, well, they're all like everything's in like live production environments now. Like people are giving the Claude like bots access to their fucking credit card information and whatnot, and they're like, I can't believe my Claude AI like purchased all this shit. Like, yeah, you dipshit. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, that's dumb.
because they give them access to their phone too. So like people have these AI assistants on their phones and whatnot. So even if you did something where like, okay, you can't use my credit card without my permission. If the thing's on all your fucking devices, it's gonna figure out how to use the credit card without your permission. People are so dumb with that shit. I don't understand. So like, I use AI a little bit for work stuff. If I was ever going to use it on, I have that like separate like laptop of mine. I would use AI on that. I would never use AI on my like gaming / bill paying computer, and I would never use it on my cell phone because I don't want their stuff getting trained on that data anyway. Like I don't want them to have a footprint more than they already do of me. But it's just like, why would you give something that's in its infancy stage access to everything in your life like that?
Yeah. I'm not giving it anything that has control of my phone. Yeah. Using like a Grok search feature on your phone is one thing.
Dude, I don't even want to
In
do
the
that
AI,
because much like some of the things like, I know we all know TikTok's like a malware, but like fucking like, you don't know how deep these things go into your phone. And even then, like the containment breach stuff, quote unquote, is just people like not setting the parameters correctly on the AI. So maybe Grok app is set not to do certain things,
Yeah,
and
so
then
I'm
some
saying-
developer fucks
That's what I'm
up.
saying. Like I'm not going to use the app.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm going to go to like the web service and just
Mm.
like nothing installed on my phone for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to me.
Mm.
People are just like, and then they go, I can't believe it's doing this thing. I can't believe you're so stupid. You're giving the equivalent of a smarter AIM chatbot from back in the day access to your entire life, and then not double checking anything.
Mm.
Because there was another, I think I told you about it. We talked about it, I think, in the last podcast, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a little while ago. But the story of like this company that was using AI and they were road mapping their entire growth projections, all this stuff off the reports that the AI was doing it until somebody like got data that like they must have known it well enough to know it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, this is wrong. And then the person went back and fact checked it and realized that the AI had been hallucinating for months
Of course.
all their financial reporting data. And I'm like, why the fuck
Why would you
you
trust it
do
to an
that?
AI? Yeah.
This is the real danger. The real danger of AI is not becoming smarter than people. It's people becoming dumber when using it, where like they don't check anything at all, and it's just like slop.
Yeah. As in anything else in life, trust but verify. And in this case, don't even really trust.
Yeah, they're not verifying at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. It's like we reverted to the old days of the internet with Ask Jeeves. And Jeeves, like, remember Jeeves would just tell you, like, here's the thing. And then if it was, like, any more complicated than that, it would try to give you, like, search results.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so we've gone back to the age of just trust the first thing that Ask Jeeves tells you. And they're like, yeah, that's definitely got to be true.
Like, nope, probably not.
Yeah, so we had all the AI stuff, had the war in Iran stuff. Oh, these deer out there.
Yeah.
Going crazy. He's like, the deer are back. Oh yeah, we had a bunch of NASA scientists go missing
What?
/ get killed. A bunch of scientists that have been working on stuff like anti-grav technology and things like that have been like found missing and or killed.
Holy shit.
And like they're doing the weird things, like the one got into a car accident, but he left his wallet and phone behind, and like when they found the body, it was like burned beyond recognition. So like people are like wondering if they're being like,
Yeah, this is strange.
yeah, they're wondering if they're being taken for some kind of secret government project.
Maybe.
Because like all of them seem to be dying in the same like mysterious way, and like one of them like wrote their friend like, I'm definitely not gonna kill myself, I'm definitely not gonna do any of these things, I'm definitely not gonna murder somebody. And then like a month later she like killed herself, and then they cremated the body immediately. It's like, huh, there's a Manhattan Project style thing going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Yeah, how is that not bigger news?
I mean, it is kind of big news,
I
but
didn't
it's
hear
just
about that
like
at all.
everything else. It goes in the fucking in the
In
life
and out
cycle
the
of
media
everything
stream?
else that's going on. Yeah. Because then we also had, with all that shit going down, we had the fucking Stop Nick Shirley Act being passed in California, or being proposed in California. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I don't even know who that is.
Nick Shirley's the YouTuber guy that exposed all the Somali daycare
okay.
stuff, and then went into California, exposed all their hospice fraud. And then California's just like, we hear you. You guys are very upset about this. So what we're going to do, they're like, investigate the fraud? No, we're going to ban investigating the fraud.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that one's been fun. On the other side of that, Virginia just passed recently, and then it got shot down immediately, and they're battling that out. Virginia just passed like a redistricting of their state, and they're like, we want to fucking just redo the districts to add like another like 10 Democrat congressional seats.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, much like how California voted to do that last year
Mhm.
or earlier this year, much like California, Virginia has an independent commission that draws their district lines. So everybody liked that because it's like, great, it's fair. It's not
Yeah.
Democrats or Republicans doing it. It's this independent commission that draws the lines. So then they put it to vote, and it like barely passed. And immediately afterwards, a judge shut it down and was like, "No, you violated your own process and rules, and we're not letting this happen." And he was like, "We're not letting a stay happen either, where you can do this until like, no, you're not allowed to do any of this shit until this gets sorted out." Because they were like, "You violated your own constitution, so you're not allowed to do that."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he also cited that the question was very misleading because it didn't say, "Hey, do you want to like redraw the maps in this way?" It was like, "Hey, do you want to temporarily allow this emergency redistricting to bring back voter fairness?" Is how they phrased it. And then trust us, in 2030 it'll definitely go back to the way we used to do it with an independent commission.
And also, this is definitely going to be more fair.
Yeah. So all that got shot down. That happened. Then we just this week had the SPLC get indicted, the Southern Poverty Law Center. They're a big activist group. Excuse me, folks. Big activist group that fights discrimination and like racial prejudice and shit like that.
Okay.
Think like the Anti-Defamation League. Turns out that they were funding Nazis and white supremacists so that they could make fake problems that they then came in and solved.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, provable they did that?
Well, they got indicted by a grand jury 11 times, so I'm going to say
Holy shit.
yes. Yeah, that based off of the indictment, it looks like what they were doing was they were creating shell companies that were then funding these people to the tune of millions of dollars, and then they were stepping in and like suing these people / bringing lawsuits against like certain stuff.
Wow.
Including like it looks like they were even involved in stuff way back during the whole what was this stupid thing? It was the Charlottesville thing, where like there was like the Unite the Right like rally thing where those guys came out with tiki torches. Yeah, turns out the SPLC might have been like the direct ones behind funding that shit, and like just creating a problem that didn't exist.
How does that happen? Because like I'm sure that organization started with good intentions. How do you go from being an activist organization like that to, hey, let's fuel the fire on this shit to make our money?
Because everything's a scam,
Yeah.
and much like pharma has realized for the longest time, there's no money in the cure. There's money in the treatment. Yeah. So like these guys get their money in donations based off of things continuing to be a problem. If you're like, hey guys, we solved racism in this country, they're not going to give you more money. They're just going to be like, yeah, it's done. The same thing with like the climate change stuff, any of these charities, like anytime there's a problem, the charity or these things are not going to solve the problem because they have a direct incentive to not solve the problem. The same thing is government. Government doesn't solve problems either. They make problems that then they try to solve, and then they make bigger problems because they need more money to solve those problems. Because now this problem cost $1 billion. We spent another $10 billion to try to solve the problem, and now we need $20 billion again this year to keep all those people employed. So they never solve anything. Like all you got to do is like follow the money trail, and then it's like, oh, okay, well this is why this shit still exists. Why are you so sleepy over there? You slept all day. I don't know.
I did sleep all day. I should not be sleepy.
Yeah, I should be the one falling asleep right now.
I slept forever today.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on over there?
I don't know.
Get yourself a monster or something, or a rain. You have a rain today?
No, I didn't have one today.
Yeah, you need a rain to wake you up, dude.
One of the things that did pop up in my feed is
You need a Snickers.
Mom Dami's billionaire tax or whatever the fuck.
Oh no, I didn't see that one. I know some people are upset with Mandami over something that happened recently.
I didn't catch exactly something to do with like the it's either high wealthy people or like the most expensive buildings or apartments or something are getting extra taxed in New York now.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't have any problems.
Uh-huh.
You can't just keep squeezing money out of people. Eventually, you have to cut down on these programs that don't need to be there. They add nothing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a funny thing that I saw recently, and I'd love to see it happen, but it would never happen. And like that's something that everybody could get behind, but nobody would do it because the shareholders would cry, "That's our money." Fucking Warren Buffett recently was talking about how his organization cut
my life in two pieces.
No. He cut like a $5 billion check to the government and just like paid the taxes. He's like, I'm glad to pay it. And then he's like, if 800 other companies in the country did that, nobody in the country would have to pay federal income tax again.
If they just skirted all their bullshit tax rules.
Yes, and if like the companies just paid this money to the government, none of us would have to pay income tax, and the companies wouldn't have to pay payroll tax for us either. Which meant the largest companies would pay the lion's share of that, but it would also remove a heavy burden from smaller companies that like get stalled out in growth because of the fact that they can't really afford the payroll tax on top of everything.
Yep. But the board wouldn't get their money that way.
Yeah, we need to sort that shit. Yeah, we had that happen. Then, with the redistricting in Virginia, we had prominent like Democrats that advised the Clintons back in the day, going on a podcast saying that like that the Democrats just need to lie to people about what they're running on in the next election, and then when they get in, make D.C. and Puerto Rico states, and then pack the Supreme Court to 13 justices, and then they'll never lose an election again. I was like, you just said that out loud, like on a podcast?
Like,
what the fuck?
And there's probably people cheering for it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, because they're stupid and don't realize like the implications of that. Because they're like, yes, my side will be in power forever. I'm like, you guys like realize what happens like when power goes unchecked in like every nation that's ever existed ever in fucking history. They're just like blatantly like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get in there and do that, and then we're gonna throw everybody in jail that like had anything to do with Trump, including like federal agents. And I was like, yeah, you guys need to be buried under the jail so that we never have that kind of shit happen, because you guys are the fucking ones causing the problems. The people like saying shit like that of like, yeah, how can we just become kings in a country without kings? It's like the irony of those no kings protesters. Their side's the one trying to fucking make that shit happen.
I still stand by that. No one who wants to be a politician should be allowed.
Yes. It should be like how it was in Rome, where you were like drafted into service.
It's a lottery system.
Yeah, and you have to do it.
Yeah.
Much like how jury duty is, except we won't let you get out of serving being a politician. When your number gets called, you're the politician.
You do 2 years and then you get back to the workforce.
Yeah. Fucking. It's crazy. We also need to do something like we're doing like trainings in my office again, and like to pass the trainings you have to like pass tests like to certain levels. I feel like if you author or co-author a bill before it's allowed to be brought to like Congress, in like whether it's at state assembly level or like at the federal government level, you shouldn't be allowed to bring that bill unless the author and co-authors of the bill pass the test about what's in the bill to at least 90% accuracy. Because like that was the thing with the Nick Shirley bill. Nick Shirley was going around and interviewing. Half of them didn't even realize they were co-authors on the bills.
Jeez.
Because they don't write the bills. And then when they were confronted, they were like, well, we have like legal scholars that write these things, and I'm sure it doesn't violate the First Amendment. Get yourself a fucking rein. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. And we're back.
Yeah, with energy drinks this time. Because somebody slept all day and is still yawning on my face.
Sorry.
You motherfucker.
I don't know why I'm yawning. I can't help it.
I'm in rants and you're cutting off my rants, dude. Cutting off my Google rants.
Don't watch my face.
What else am I supposed to do? Like, go over and, like, look this way and just talk to the wall?
If you want to.
That'll be terrible for the acoustic.
Hmm.
It's already bad enough that I'm, like, half sick doing this shit. But, yeah, so there was all that stuff. And then there's been World Cup drama, too, which is hilarious.
What's up with the World Cup?
Everybody's giving New Jersey a bunch of shit, but not paying attention to the other places. Because New Jersey, and one of the only base things that, like, Nikki Shirley has done, Mickey Shirley, right? Is that her name? What's our governor's name? I think it's Mickey, right? There's
check?
Nick Shirley, who's the guy doing it, and our governor's Mickey Shirley, I think.
Who's the governor of New Jersey?
Oh, it's thinking about it hard.
Mickey Sherrill. There you go.
Cheryl. Mickey Cheryl. Okay. Nick Shirley and Mickey Cheryl. Okay. Yeah. Because Mickey Cheryl, in the, like, one of the only base things she's done is, like, yeah, New Jersey transit tickets to and from the World Cup are going to be $120 round trip.
Wow.
No, not wow. Because people are like, meh. FIFA's not footing the bill at all for any of this transportation. And due to FIFA's demands, they aren't allowing parking at the stadium, the MetLife Stadium up there in the Meadowlands. So the only way to get there is by bus or by train. Bus will be $80, train will be $120. And when people are like, price gouging, you're hurting the fans. One, they wanted New Jersey to foot $45 million worth of transportation costs. Fuck you, we're not doing it. The taxpayers don't need to foot it. But the playoff game that they really started a controversy about, because they're like, the final game is going to be there. It's going to be $120 round trip ticket. Do you know how much a ticket for, like, the decent area, not the VIP areas, just the decent areas of that stadium costs during the final?
Couple $1,000?
If you want the nosebleeds, maybe. The good area, which there's controversy about that too, because FIFA's been lying about, like, the seat map. The good tickets to that are $11,000.
Holy shit!
Yes. So if you're paying $11,000 for a ticket, you can pay $120
for a bus fare.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I really don't care. And they're like, but FIFA has fans from around the world. Yeah, and they'll be watching it in their bars around the world, not here. Shut the fuck up. With that, then Foxborough for the Boston one is being based right now, and I don't know if that shit at this time, whether it's gone through or not. Same thing up there, because it's Boston, but it's not happening in Boston. It's happening in the town of Foxborough. That's where this fucking stadium is, right? The town of Foxborough, their police basically told to meet the demands that FIFA needs for security and shit like that is going to cost to the tune of $8 to $9 million. And so they basically told FIFA, if you want us to approve the license to use the stadium, you need to give us $9 million for the fucking for the police stuff that they asked for. And FIFA's, like, been going to their town council meetings and trying to, like, strong arm them into doing this, and they're like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. We told you how much they need. Pay us or we're not approving this. And I'm really proud of them, because most government officials would, like,
cave
to that. Because somebody came in and said, "Oh, no, we'll get you on the back end. We'll pay it forward on the back end." And they're like, "No, fucking pay us now."
The money.
Yeah, because I think rightfully so. Like, fucking FIFA doesn't front the costs for any of this stuff. They're like, "Oh, well, you should just be glad for the tourism that it brings for, like, having the World Cup here and blah 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 blah." And it's like, yeah, but the most of that tourist dollars are being spent towards your tickets.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you saying? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, the people aren't going sightseeing. They're coming to the game and then they're leaving.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? So, so there was that. And then the city of Philadelphia, their people are fucking stupid. They're like, oh, look at New Jersey and fucking Boston. They're being pricks. Blah, blah, blah. Philly's allowing tailgating and SEPTA's not going to cost anything when that's going on. I was like, you are so dumb.
Oh, so the Philly taxes are going to skyrocket.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys are dumb. They're like, no, the no tailgating rule is just something that FIFA made up. No, it's not something FIFA made up. The difference is the fucking stadium in the Meadowlands is in the middle of fucking nowhere. You can't walk to it easily. You can walk to it if you're over there in like the American Dream, right? So like I'm sure some people might park in like the American Dream like area and then walk over. That might be a thing that they do, right? But the stadium in Philly is in Philly. Can you imagine telling the people in Philly you're not allowed to be over here and tailgate? Philly was probably like telling FIFA, like, listen, you're going to have a bigger security issue on your hands if you stop them from tailgating. We're just going to let them do it. Trust us, you're going to want them to do that.
They'll tear the fucking stadium down.
Yeah, and then again, the free buses, they're like, the buses are going to be free. I'm like, no, dummies, you're paying for the buses. Don't realize you're paying for the buses yet.
Yeah, your bus card next year is going to be twice the price.
Yeah, and the worst part about like all of this too, like the things that would foot the bill for this would probably be the stadium owners themselves, like how it's like, you know, the Lincoln Financial Field and MetLife's. But the World Cup makes it so that the stadiums aren't allowed to be branded because the World Cup wants to get paid for sponsorship. So the people that own the stadiums that these things are hosted in don't even get the free the free branding out of it. If they want people to pay for this shit, it's easy. You just say, hey, MetLife, you could still call it fucking MetLife Stadium when we host the World Cup there. Free fucking advertisement to you. Oh, what does that equate to? Millions of dollars? Sure, we'll help fund the security and help fund the fucking transportation here because you gave us millions, if not billions, in free advertisement.
So do they have to like take the name off the shit or whatever? Like,
oh,
sorry,
I didn't realize you were there, Guinness. I didn't mean to kick you.
No, he attacked you.
Yeah, my foot. But yeah, no, they have to cover up like all the name branding stuff,
Wow.
and that's why like the other controversies that people are mad about is it's going to be called the New York, New Jersey Stadium, even though it's in New Jersey. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off as it is.
Yeah, so all the
got
stadiums
teams
are
playing. They're calling themselves New York, and they're playing in goddamn Jersey.
Yeah, so all the stadium stuff is going to be covered up. So like the Philadelphia is not going to say like the Link or wherever the hell they're playing. It's just going to say Philadelphia, and the same thing with Boston. It's just going to say Boston. So the companies that pay to maintain these stadiums usually aren't going to get any advertisement out of it whatsoever.
Huh.
We all know what
FIFA.
it is, but on like a grand stage, they're not going to know what it is. So no, they're just going to say, "Oh, they're playing in New York, New Jersey."
Mm-hmm. Is this thing the case for the stadiums overseas?
Yeah. It's what they do. Okay. It's what they always do.
Okay.
But again, I don't feel bad for FIFA. FIFA's like, this is going to have a chilling effect on World Cups in the future. What? That you guys might have to fucking walk away with less than 100% profit? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, fuck off.
Uh-huh. Or just fucking don't have them over here.
Yeah, so
most Americans don't care.
Yeah, so finally, like, people were like, it's like based, and they're like, we might never have the World Cup here again. I'm like, good. I hope
we don't give a shit.
Yeah, fucking, I'm so annoyed by it because, like, even worse than that, like, it's bad enough as it is already. So they're gonna charge $120 because when the World Cup is going on during that brief period of time, a couple hours before and a couple hours after the games happen in the stadium in New Jersey, at least I don't know where other people are gonna have that. Fucking New Jersey Transit will only run from New York Penn Station to the stadium and no other line, like no other like trains running up and down the regional rails. So during that period of time, if you commute via train, like if these things are like going on during a World Cup game, you're screwed. That entire pipeline is cut off. And it's being used like a private fucking limo service. So yeah, $120 round trip is pretty light in my opinion. Like, fuck you. Like, they don't even realize how much of a disruption that would cause.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody who's supposed to be working during that time, like you said, needs to commute as fuck now.
Yeah. So they might as well just give the people like that work in New York and fucking North Jersey like fucking holidays during that time. And be like, yeah.
Shut down the business.
Yeah, nobody could do anything in here right now because nobody can get anywhere. Yeah. but oh, we're assholes. Fuck you guys, and fuck the World Cup.
Agreed. Fuck the World Cup.
I really don't give a shit about that whatsoever. And they're like,
Fuck
oh, we
soccer.
got the World Cup being hosted here because it's like during our 250th birthday. We don't give a fuck about soccer.
Mhm.
Fuck off. The thing I'm more excited about is the Grand Prix that's going to be running through D.C. in August. That's
Yeah,
yeah. You want to go down and see that? That's going to be fun.
sure.
They're going to turn all of D.C. into a Grand Prix circuit. It's going to be sick.
Oh, that they just run them through regular cities.
Yeah. It's going to be sick. And they're doing it specifically for America's 250th birthday, and it's a completely free event. They have like on the website that there's tickets. I don't know if there's like actually tickets or if it's just going to be like, get an assigned seat kind of deal if you want to be in the stands.
Where was the previous? Was it Vegas?
No. You're thinking Formula One. Grand Prix.
Okay.
Different. It's not Formula One racing. It's not a Formula One track.
Gotcha.
It's similar type vehicles.
Mm-hmm. But that's where that last one was that they like popped through the city was Vegas, right?
Yeah.
I remember that they had they covered the one bridge and like all the advertising shit, and they tried to stop people from going on the bridge, and they're like, "Yeah, I got to get over here. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do?"
Yes, the Formula One track in Vegas is like a permanent fixture like thing that they do now.
Oh, okay.
So like Vegas is part of the Formula One circuit. So every once in a while they just do that shit through there, which is completely fucked.
Because when it's not Formula One, it's just regular roads, right? And then they cut it off for the Formula One.
Yeah, but we were talking to people there, and they're like, all the hotels and stuff are still open in the casinos. And like, if you work like in Vegas, like it's a nightmare when that shit goes down to get to your job because you got to park like miles away and then like walk, like you said, through the bridges and whatnot to get over to like where you need to go because everything's connected by a bridge eventually in Vegas. But yeah. So all those people that are like, oh, look, you got the casino right there. It's like, yeah, it's a nightmare for those people to get the fuck over there to work. So be glad that they're there for you.
So what's the difference between Formula One and Grand Prix?
I don't know. Some with the cars.
Okay.
And the racing organization.
Which one is the one where we put a Camaro in it recently?
I don't know. You have to look it up.
I will look it up.
Look it up, not Jamie.
What race did we put a Camaro in with the supercars recently? I think it was a Camaro. Oh, I gotta hit the send button. There we go. What?
You ran out of
high demand. Please try again soon.
Haha.
Because I don't pay for it?
Yeah. Sucker.
Oh, well.
Why is there high demand? What's going on? It's it's even 5:30 on the West Coast right now, Nobody should be doing stuff.
It wasn't NASCAR. It was in like supercars and shit. Australian Supercars Championship? Is that what it was?
Maybe. I doubt it was in like a Formula One type race because those they have this very specific class of vehicle and they have like
they had like a special thing. NASCAR entered a stock car in what? Le Mans.
Wow.
Yeah, they put a Camaro in Le Mans.
What is Le Mans? Love that. You ever watch the guy HLC that he does the thing where he like talks with the different maps and planes?
See, look at all the little supercars and then fucking big ass Camaro in the middle.
Lols. But yeah, the guy that does like the I don't know if you've seen him on YouTube. It's I forget what it stands for, but he's HLC. He does like the thing where he talks like as America and the other countries, and then has like the different warplanes and whatnot. It's funny. It's a funny way to get news. But he was talking about
when you
that.
see like the eyes and lips on the shit.
Yeah. He's talking about that with like Le Mans, and it had like a Florida like messaging like France, like what is Le Mans, and can I tailgate it? Because he was like talking about this exact situation, and I just like why is America over here with a Camaro? And it's like, I just firmly believe that like it's not that we can't win things, we just haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah.
I was like, and it's like, be careful because now you have a bunch of NASCAR fans in Florida that now know about this race.
Yeah.
So get ready for what that's going to turn into next year.
Ooh, an opportunity to go faster?
Yeah. It is pretty funny. It's funny that they all look like that now, though, the little cars in those races. Because I think Le Mans is the race that was in, what is it? Ford versus Ferrari, that movie?
I'm not sure. Le Mans is an endurance race, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a 24-hour circuit.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
like, because that was way back in the day. Ford was in there trying to beat Ferrari. Ford beat Ferrari with Shelby helping them, and then
Mm.
yeah, it was Le Mans, right?
Yeah, 1966.
Le Mans. Yeah, we won it back then, and they were like, "Okay, we got it. We're cool. We're coming back." We're like, "We don't give a shit." That's what people don't realize. Americans win stuff, and then we get bored. We're like, "That was cool. We don't need to do it again."
Yeah, that was easier than we thought it was going to be. You guys have fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do other crazy shit now. What do you mean other crazy shit? Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know how you have this race where everyone's trying to like make their car special and do slightly different shit to make everything goes a little bit faster? Yeah, we have a race where all the cars are exactly the same.
Yes. Yeah, the way they get faster is like literally being so far up the fucking ass of the car in front of them, you could smell the fart of the driver in front of you through the exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I'm tired of the commute into work into like a NASCAR circuit with like how close you got to get to people recently. I'm not a bit. Oh, that was the other thing. Trump just recently is about to lower the classification of marijuana again, and then
Really?
did something with psychedelics and Joe Rogan, where like we're gonna start testing psychedelics for like PTSD treatment and shit like that, which is cool. Like that's fun. But yeah, I don't give a shit what people do with weed, but I'm starting to think that fucking we need to start pulling people over for fucking smoking weed in their car while driving a lot more than we do.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Because, dude, I don't know what it is.
I don't care what you say, you are impaired. You should...
Up around here, driving on 295 is fine. As soon as I start to hit South Jersey, I don't know what the fuck is going on down there, but suddenly the left lane becomes the fucking 60-mile-an-hour lane, and it is still the fastest lane compared to the other two. And I'm like, what the fuck has happened? What are you people doing? What's going on? Where are the cops? Why is no one being pulled over for this shit? And then in between that is the shittiest fucking shitbox cars I've ever seen weaving in and out like they are in a Formula One racetrack. And I was like, I hate all of this, and I hate my life.
Yeah. People on the road these days are ridiculous.
Yeah. You want to know the fun thing that I found out the other day, too?
What was that?
You want to know how wide the speed limit on highways is 65 miles an hour?
Why?
Because when they set that speed limit back in the day, they removed fucking speedometers and whatnot from people's vehicles, put them in the car, and said, drive at the speed that you feel comfortable. And the average speed of people, like with that information removed and then just like the comfortability of driving in the vehicle was 65. You know when that was done?
It's not a safety regulation. It's just because that's how people were comfortable driving.
Yeah, that's what they used to determine that. You know when that was done?
When?
1950s. I think we need to reassess the comfortability when driving thing.
In modern cars.
Yeah, and we also need to, like, you know how they say like the left two lanes are for like passing only. I think we need to do what I did like that over there in Italy. Sometimes they assign speeds by the lane that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be then, if you're not maintaining that speed and
Get the
not
fuck
going
over.
over to the slower lane, we pull you over and write you a ticket for causing traffic congestion problems.
They can do that and do occasionally.
Yeah, I know, but it's usually when you get 3 people matching the same speed.
Or if somebody's doing like well under the speed limit.
Yes. Well, that's why some states they have minimum speeds required for the highway. In other words, if you're too afraid to go that fast, get the fuck off. But yeah, it's been really grinding my gears lately, and I've been fucking hating it. Especially because, like, dude, like, the other thing is people have lost the art of, like, maintaining speed with the cars in front of them. Like, they stop. I don't know if they stop paying attention or they're just stupid and don't realize that if you let go of the accelerator, your car slows down.
You don't
they're
need to
just
hit
like
the brakes.
hitting the brakes. And then I gotta hit the brakes because you're like over hitting the brake. And I'm like, why are we doing this? What has happened?
Yeah, when I went down to I took a trip down to Georgia a few weeks ago and rented that BMW. It had the adaptive cruise control where it automatically keeps speed with the cars in front of you.
Yeah.
That shit was nice.
Yeah, we need to mandate some people have that.
Yeah, that was real nice. I had my foot on the gas like 10% of that trip.
I don't know. I hate it. People are so dumb.
Agreed.
Or AI. Can we just get like the majority of people not allowed to drive a vehicle anymore and they all have to have self-driving cars? I think it would solve so many of our problems.
Once we get to the point that the self-driving cars aren't dangerous.
I would say I would prefer your average driver in a self-driving Tesla than I would them actually driving. I would say your average driver right now is more dangerous by the numbers than a Tesla with self-driving. Especially because if you had multiple self-driving cars from the same manufacturer, I'm sure they could figure out a way to network and talk to each other.
Yeah, they'll get more prominent, I think, when they do. Yeah, when they put like some sort of IntelliWeb for them, so they're all talk to each other and they talk to the road and stuff too.
Now you got me yawning.
Then I think the self-driving stuff will become more common. I was talking to my mom about the self-driving shit recently, and she's like, "Yeah, it should be. They should make it a law that all the cars have to have it." I'm like, I don't know if they'll make it a law that all the cars on the road have to have it, but they probably will at some point make it a law where all of the new cars have to at least have the option installed. Not necessarily to force you to use it, but that it has to come with
well,
it.
the new law now is that all cars have to check that if you're sober or not. And if you're not, they'll stop. They have to have the cutoff to stop you from driving.
What?
It's going to get challenged. They're trying to like slowly implement it. People didn't realize during Biden's Infrastructure Act that got passed, this was like slowly passed in there too, because again, creating problems where there are none. Ever since like Uber became like a thing, the amount of like DUIs has gone down like tremendously.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff related to it, right? But MAD still needs to make money. So MAD is like, what would be super cool if we made your car determine if you're sober or not. It's like, wait, what?
What are they installing breathalyzers in all the cars?
No. It's going to have a combination of sensors to determine if you're impaired. And if you're impaired, it's going to stop the function of the vehicle. And I can't wait for this to get challenged because if it's wrong and you can't start your vehicle and there's an emergency, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's not okay.
No, not at all. Like, I would rather that they say that, okay, now all cars going forward have to have that breathalyzer interlock thing. Then what some cars are going to use, they're going to use infrared sensors to check either through, like, your breathing, if there's alcohol and the particles in the air, or like from like you like starting the car, they said there's something that's going to like scan your finger to tell. I was like, I don't know how they tell your blood alcohol level through that. But the breath thing is kind of like bad because like what if you're giving your buddy a ride home from the bar and they're drunk and they're talking at you and then it breathes in your...
If it's just reading it in the air in the car, definitely not okay.
Yeah. And fucking like other things will like they'll use like it's going to like train your face data so they could tell if you're like less alert. They're just going to decide you're impaired. And it's already in some cars now because
I'll just always look tired then.
Dude, so it's like some of the people getting some of the newer rental cars said like the rental cars have been doing things like telling them that they're drunk and pull over. And I'm assuming that's because since the car's changing hands so many different times, it's training on different
Yeah,
faces or
they
different
have like eye
alertness.
tracking
Yeah, it
shit. Yeah.
doesn't know. So yeah, that one's slowly been
Mm.
snuck in, and people aren't going to realize it till it's put into your vehicle.
Yeah.
And
I did think it was a cool feature when they first started the eye tracking shit to where it would like yell at you if it thought you were falling asleep. Like that's nice. Like alert you if it thinks there's a problem, not shut down the fucking car.
I'm okay with this car shutdown thing if it means that you are no longer allowed to give people DUI. If you're in a newer vehicle, if you're in an older vehicle that doesn't
Yeah.
have this, obviously it doesn't count. But if your vehicle then determines that you're not able to drive and it pulls you over, whatever, or stops the car,
Then if you're allowed to drive, then
then
no DUI.
yeah, like not that. I'm saying if the car stops you because like right now, like if you sleep it off in your car, they could charge you with like a DUI because like oh like
Because you're in the car.
they could
Yeah.
say like oh yeah you intended to drive it blah 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 blah. But since this stops you, I'm like, okay, that's fine. If it's really about safety and stopping people from getting hurt with it, okay, then we do this, and then you're no longer allowed to put somebody in jail and do all this other crazy shit for like if you would have had the DUI. It's like no, because the thing stopped me. No different than if like a bar would stop you and be like, we're taking your keys and getting you a cab home.
Are they allowed to do that?
Not only are they allowed to, they're required to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're required to cut you off way before
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
But if they let you get to that point, they are responsible for what happens to you afterwards. So they should be taking your keys and driving you and making sure you get home. Including like you can call the cops to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like they're like you can call them a taxi. That's the better way to do it. But like you will not get in trouble if the bar is like as long as you're not being like belligerent. If the bar is like, hey, we accidentally overserved this person. You need to take them home. The bar's going to get in trouble for that one potentially. Yeah. They might get a fine for it actually.
Yeah. For overserving. Yep.
Yeah. But again, I'm just really perturbed by something that like just can just determine I'm going to shut my car off on you regardless of what's going on. Because again, if it thinks that you're impaired, it could stop. That means like if you're long driving, like for like how we go to Vermont every once in a while, it might just be like, oh, you're not as alert as you were in the beginning of the trip. You're drunk. Fucking stop the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great. Now I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere in Vermont and I can't start my
drive.
car because my car's like, yeah, you got a fucking lockout time of this long. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's not okay. Hopefully that shit doesn't pass.
Yeah, and it could be this huge liability on the car manufacturer too, because like you were saying with like the no DUI, if my car has that feature and it allows me to drive the car and says that I'm good, I'll be like I'm gonna sue the car manufacturer and be like, yeah, your car basically breathalyzed me and said that I was good to go and I wasn't good to go, so fuck you.
I don't know if that one would hold up, but there's probably going to be a lot of people who try it.
I think it would definitely hold up.
Well, I mean, they'll likely argue that it's still your responsibility not to drink and drive, but
because those ones that do the interlock thing, where like if you breathe into it and there's any trace of alcohol, it doesn't start the vehicle. Like if that thing lets you drive and you were drinking, like fucking, it'd be like, well, I thought I was good, because like you could argue I stopped drinking forever ago. And I blew on the thing to go drive the car. The car started, and then I got pulled over, and like it gave me a fucking thing. I'd be like, but I wasn't drunk. The car said I wasn't drunk. You installed it to say that the car would tell me that I wasn't drunk.
Yeah, it's sketchy.
And like, where does it end?
Surveillance state.
I think doing that and causing those false starts is the thing that they're going to try to use to try to push the full like self-driving cars. And be like, oh well, if you don't want that to happen, just pay for our self-driving feature, and then the car will just drive you, and you don't have to worry about it.
Which I don't hate altogether, but if all the cars are self-driving, traffic will get better.
I think self-driving cars will only work if cars essentially become a public transportation at that point.
You don't own your own self-driving car. You just call one to you.
Correct.
Actually, yeah.
It would be the only way that it would work. You basically sign up for the service, and it costs you X amount a month, and then like you might not even have to call the car to you. It might just be like, you have the car, and then like if you got, because the self-driving cars more than likely are going to be like electric.
Mm-hmm.
So unless there's very fast electric charging, which somebody like China said they have it, so I don't know how much I trust it because we've seen how Chinese EVs go. But unless they can fuel up an EV vehicle as fast as they can a car, you're going to have to leave your car to have it be charged. So if you have this service, then you just hop in another car there that's already fully charged, leave your car, and fucking go about your day. Or if it's self-driving, it just goes and plugs itself in somewhere and just fucking you come back later with a car.
That probably won't be a requirement to like run on this service rather than like own your own, but I can definitely see that being an option.
Yeah.
Because there's already like car share services with like regular cars. People in cities use them all the time in Philly, like New York and shit, where you don't own your own car. You pay into this service of like shared cars, and then when you need one, you just grab one and go.
Yeah, which I'm not necessarily against, as long as like with that service, periodically the car goes in somewhere and gets fucking cleaned. Some people are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's gonna have to get cleaned, gonna have to get serviced.
Yeah. I mean, the service is a given, but the cleaned part is the thing I'm more concerned about. Because not everybody's the same on their cleanliness standard.
I really got to clean my.
Well, you're not going to do it this weekend because it's going to be cold and rainy because the weather's all over the place.
Yeah, that's why when they picked up the motorcycle, the guy's all apologetic, and I'm like, look, it's all right. I'm not riding it anytime soon anyway with the upcoming weather, so you guys are good.
Yeah, you got the weather just as soon as it got screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday's going to be 49 and rainy, and then Sunday, it looks like it's not going to rain anymore, but it's going to be 51 degrees, so you're not going to want to do that. The next good time to clean your car. Not anytime soon.
I know.
I'm looking into May, and even in May, like we're not going to see another 70-degree day now for a while. Spring is back, baby.
Yep.
And winter's back on the West Coast. I don't know if you saw that. They're getting snow out there. They're like getting dumped on. They're like, we just closed all these resorts because we didn't have snow, and now they're like some places are getting like 10+ inches of snow.
Wow.
And they're like, what the fuck? I was like, haha. Meanwhile, over here, we're blowing snow. Yeah.
Fucking way to go, Camelback.
They're like, it got a little bit cold. We're going to blow some more snow. We're still going to be open. And people are like, the conditions suck. I was like, yeah, but they're open.
Yeah, but they're open.
Fuck you. Like, you know what you're getting. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, good on them. It's good shit.
They're really going into May. They want to be open into May. To be like, this is the longest season we've ever been.
I hope they make it.
Killington's blowing snow, and so is J-Peak. All to try to compete to be like the last people open on the East. Which I love. This is what we're here about. Fucking the West Coast complains about a little bit of patchy snow. They're like, we need to shut it down because conditions aren't perfect. And out here, we're like,
it's 90% grass. Fucking go.
How much distance can we have between snow patches and still consider ourselves open? What's the limit on that? Let's see how far we could push it. If I went to like one of these places now, though, with like seeing the condition that like some of that shit is, I would get a rental board 100%.
Yeah.
I'm going to be riding my board through that shit, but I would ride a rental. That'd be fun. Fuck the rental board. That's the next guy's in the next season's problem. They're like, how does Gouge get on this board like that? Fucking, I don't know.
Because they were open in May and we went.
Yeah. Well, they've got the mountain open while they're also opening the water park stuff there.
Really?
Yeah. So they're having like beach parties on the mountain, which is fucking hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. I gotta love it. But anyway. You got to get to the store. You're a tired boy. I'm still not 100%. The last 2 weeks have been chaos. Next week's podcast will hopefully be a little bit more thematic and less chaos, and hopefully also next week. And not another bi-weekly thing.
No, it's going to be chaos. All of our podcasts are chaos.
Are you going to put out any more of the snowboarding videos, or are you just like saving those for next year and just going to tease them in the winter
I have to put them out.
Okay.
I just keep forgetting to do it.
So much like the mountain's not closed, our snowboarding videos are not done into May either. So
I've been working a lot instead.
yeah, I know, you crazy bastard with your overtime. But yeah, so get ready for all that stuff in the future, folks. And fuck all you people that came back from spring break and got everybody sick. You know who you are, and I hate your guts.
Rude.
Yeah. But if you made it to this long in the podcast, you must not hate our guts.
Yeah, in which case you should really like and subscribe.
Or at least you really hate our guts. Either way, if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, as my co-host said.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the notification bell. Share the show with everyone you know, especially if you made it this far. You must have friends that think in a very similar way to us, or you wouldn't have made it this far.
You can catch us on whichever platform you prefer.
Yeah, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify. Not full-length content on TikTok. Although, we got to figure out something with that too.
What?
You got to do a little bit of work. You're gonna hate it. Okay. But better to start doing it now. One last tail end thing, folks, before we get out of here. TikTok enabled an AI feature, like quietly, that they weren't very forthcoming to their users about. For us, it doesn't really matter because our face isn't on there so much, but the voices are. They enabled by default the AI on everybody's videos, and unless you opt out of it, it means that you could use their AI to basically remix your content into anything that that somebody wants to, including using your likeness and your voice to do and say shit that you never did or said. Isn't that fun?
Huh.
And the only way to turn it off and opt out of it is to go into each and every individual video and turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah, so luckily we don't have that many on TikTok right now, but you're going to want to go in there and just disable that AI thing.
Noted.
Yeah. Isn't that fucked up? They're like, oh, yeah. And luckily, again, we don't have that much and haven't been on there that long, but there's people that have been on that fucking platform
thousands
for
of videos.
years. Yeah, posting daily. And they're like, great. So, because like people were complaining about like they basically had to spend like an entire weekend going through all of their videos and one by one doing this.
That sucks.
People are like, is there a better way to do it? And currently, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is an issue. TikTok needs to fix this. I'm like, fix it? They did it on purpose.
Yeah. Hey.
What do you mean?
You said okay in the terms of service.
No, not even. They just rolled out the feature, and by default, it's on.
It's not in the TOS anywhere?
No.
Oh.
No. Like, yeah, your TOS might be like, we roll out new features from time to time, but like that, like nobody had to agree to be put into AI. You were just automatically opted into their AI. They're like, you're on our platform, we own your shit. It's like that's so. Make sure to check that on your stuff every once in a while, folks. Not just on TikTok, but on all your platforms that you use. Because a lot of companies are quietly doing that right now. They're implementing AI features and opting you in by default. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, fuck you. Turn that off. Don't train shit on me. But, yeah, we'll catch you guys next week.
Deuces.